Vasilic with a crisp tackle. Skamaka's on his way. Skamaka. Adamola Lookman. Lookman! Glorious hat-trick! The night of his life! The night of his dreams! He makes history! Atalanta write their own history! Surely now they...
He made history in front of over 100,000 fans all over the world as they set their eyes glued in front of their TV set. I can tell you that we had over 64 million fans in Africa, over 278 million fans in Europe. We had over 85 million fans in America, but North and South seen the game where Nigerians #1 Ademola Lookman stood tall, ending the unbeaten run of Bayern, never losing the fair to the onslaught of Ademola Lookman when he scored a hat-trick. Somebody is saying that give him the African Footballer of the Year 2024 already. But one man said, it's just a fluke. Few goals in few games is not enough reason we should give him the African Footballer of the Year 2024. It's all about Atalanta's Ademola Lookman. Today's edition is solely for this man.
Tackle. Skamaka's on his way. Lookman's up alongside him. Skamaka. Adamola Lookman. Lookman! Glorious hat-trick! The night of his life! The night of his dreams! He makes history! Atalanta write their own history!
Welcome to the show. It is a Spot Lounge reaching you live from the studio of a Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja on your amazing radio dial. My name is Franklin Imona, the one you love to call Uncle Fine Boy, the spot chef, because I love dishing sport stories to you hot and spicy. It is a 6 minutes gone past the hour of a spot o'clock on the 23rd day in the month of May 2024. And of course, you know how we do it. It is not a one-man show. It is a full house.
Okay, guys, come on. I'm trying to keep my cool. I don't know what's happening to Fanboy today and Ademola Lookman. But welcome to the show. It's going to be exciting, pulsating, interactive, fun-filled. It's going to be a packed 1 hour show. We'll be looking at as well from the camp of the under 20. Then bring it back to Nigeria since you want to stay abroad. The under 17 team. Had a gameplay today, early hours of this morning. We'll let you know how they fare. We'll hear as well from the media officer of the team, Francis Archie. We'll also speak out to what's going down as well in far away, talking about the Africa Cup of Nations. We'll look at Ayimba. A new sheriff is in town. And of course, the time permits, we'll touch on what's going down in the bar. Talking about basketball, tennis. You know how we do it. Boxing. We hear the Usu Fury rematch is on the cards. And I tell you all these and more. You should not forget it. We'll be having the national coordinator of the Nigeria Beach Soccer League, Africa Beach Soccer League president as well, Mahmoud Hajija, with us on the show.
Also, one man joins us on the show. This time is as punctual as punctuality itself. Mr. Johnson, Marco G, you love to call him Mr. J, but we know him as MJ. Fantastic evening to you, MJ.
Thank you very much. I think I've done well to end a starting lineup. And most especially, you have to do some things off the normal when something really fantastic happen. And that is solely what happened last night when our own very Nigerian Ademola Lookman made the whole world proud. Big ups to him.
Absolutely. MJ, if you do not celebrate your own, who do you expect?
Celebrate?
Absolutely. We are done celebrating Manchester City. We are done celebrating Real Madrid and the rest.
And Leverkusen.
Of course, we are even done celebrating Arsenal.
We are done celebrating Leverkusen because the unbeaten run is ended by a certain Ademola Lookman.
Absolutely. Let's get into the show proper, taking you to the local scene. Let's begin far away in Ghana as the Nigerians Golden Eaglets sailed majestically into the semi-finals of the ongoing Waffle B Under-17 Championship in Ghana with a 3-1 whitewash of Togo's Baby Sparrow Hawks. We hear that that winner has now catapulted them into the semi-finals where they will face the Baby Elephant. Mr. J Spot Bishop, 3 goals score line, even though I felt the goals should be more than that.
I think if you ask me, man, I think to be sincere with you, I thought that was for Mr. J. But he looked fired up already. Like
absolutely.
We're not used to having him every day of the week start the show with us. But for to be sincere with you, great game this morning. It should have been yesterday. Heavy downpour affected it. I did announce it during the evening show that the game wouldn't go on rain, go away, come again another day.
6 hours of rain and non-stop.
Absolutely. But they said the rain was a blessing in disguise. They came back this morning and it was a brace from, of course, Abdul Muiz at the lake, and of course a beautiful finish. What a powerful header from Rafael Adams. I think that boy looks like a player who can become the next big thing when it comes to striking. No, I'm not one who is in rush to praise players. You know that already. But I watched the guy play, and it seems his position play, his finishing ability seems to be something we need to be looking out for a player who can become one. Like I said, can become. He can be derailed on the way, but if you do with the right mentorship,
coaching,
exactly, he can get there. And what a I know we've come here every day. We tend to praise Simon Cletus, the captain of the team, but with the way he played today, 2 assists, for one for Abdul Muiz and the other one for Rafa. I'm sure that he was top notch. Abdul Muiz as well. Oladeji also got an assist for Abdul Muiz's namesake, Abdul Muiz Adeleke. It was a fantastic. The two Abdul Muiz combined for the first goal. So it was a fantastic game this morning. And kudos to go to Kumaru Garba. He said he worked on them goal scoring drills.
Absolutely.
It worked on it. The finishing was exquisite. Top notch finishing. It could have been 4 at the Muiz. I don't know whether he's a penalty taker, but because he looked like he was set to get a hat trick. We got a penalty and the ball was handed to him to score the 4th goal. But unfortunately, he
selflessly.
Yeah. But he missed it. And we'll take the 3-0 victory. We are top of the table. I'll begin to look forward to the semi-finals. Like I said, for me, all this Sulabalu is about getting a ticket to the Under-17 AFCON.
Absolutely.
And from there, get a ticket to the Under-17.
Mr. J, please, I will plead with you to hold your thought for a moment. Let's go to Ghana and speak with the media officer of the Under-17 national team, Mr. Francis Achi, popularly known as the Totori Master. We caught up with him and he had this to say.
It was a very hard-fought victory. Forget the fact that it ended 3-0 in favor of Gold Eaglet. It was a tough game. On the pitch, the build-up to the game had a lot of mental disturbance and a lot of psychological imbalance for both teams. I'm talking about Nigeria and even Togo, because the game supposed to have been played yesterday by 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Rain fell in Ghana throughout for more than 6 hours. Everybody was flooded, so the game was now rescheduled to 9 a.m. today. We got to the pitch. The pitch was not looking like a place where they would play ball. At the end of the day, the game started around 10 minutes past 10. 10 minutes past 10 in Ghana, that was when the game started, which was around 10 minutes past 11 in Nigeria. And luckily, we thank God that the boys came to the party with the A game. They raised the game very well and they ended 3-0 in favor of Gold Eaglet. I think when you talk about the formation, of course, because of injuries and also a red card given to Okere Chibuke, the coach Manu Gaba had to resort to bringing in a defensive midfielder to play in the central defense to pair with Abdul Waris Yunus. I'm talking about John Oguche. So Oguche paired with him and he performed very well. And at the end of the day, it's not really about formation anyway. It's all about the winning mentality of the boys. They really wanted to win and they won 3-0. It could have been 4-0, it could have been 5-0, 6-0, but at least we got 3-0 and we are meeting, Nigeria will now be meeting Ivory Coast. It will be a repeat of last I think moving forward, Nigerians should just expect the boys to get better. I think the most important game is before us on Saturday by 6 p.m. Ghana time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Talking about the game between Nigeria and the baby elephant of Cote d'Ivoire. It is a very must win because it's semi-final and you must get to the final. And for you to, we don't know how many, for you to have a clear-cut chance to just represent West Africa in the WAFU bit in AFCON tournament later. So we have to, the team have to come to the game on Saturday with a very an improved performance compared to today. You have to create chances and ensure that you convert all your chances, at least convert most of your chances, and also defend well. The good thing is that we're playing against a side that has conceded 5 goals in the tournament and scored only 2, -3, but they're in semi-final, Cote d'Ivoire, because they only have 3 teams in that group and they play 2 games. We are coming from a group that we top, and we have not considered, Nigeria has not considered any goal. We and the Gold Eaglet are topping, scored about how many goals now? 0-0 against Burkina Faso. We scored 4 goals plus 4 goals difference. It's a very good one, but statistics does not count when you enter a knockout stage if you cannot beat your opponent. So you must definitely beat your opponent to get to the final. So Cote d'Ivoire is on the card on Saturday, and it is our expectations that the Gold Eaglet, Simon Cletus and the rest of the squad will raise the A game and make sure that they give Nigerians something to cheer.
Absolutely, something to cheer. Mr. J, let me come to you. You heard the media officer of the under-17 national team, the Totori master known as Francis Archie. He spoke extensively concerning our opponent, the baby elephant, to which we are going to meet on Saturday. Though they have also considered a lot, they are one of the few goal-scoring team compared to Nigeria. We have not considered a single goal, and we have scored 4 goals in our competition. Do you see us breezing past Cote d'Ivoire come this Saturday by 7 p.m.?
On the paper, it looks easy. The box sticks to favor us, but then I want to borrow leaf from what's happened in the past. You know, these statistics and everything you've read is already in the past. It's no longer going to count unless it's not going to count in our coming game unless we do something. As in, we refuse to rest on the laurels with as in the number. We have to put in that hunger. We've seen where Ivory Coast qualified through as the best loser or as the worst of the best loser, and then when we meet them at the final, we qualified, we top our group and everything, but then at the final we meet these people who were unable to replicate the form we carried from the beginning. So it's just a call out to the lads that well, what we have done is already done. They just have to look ahead of them, what is at stake, get cross over this hurdle of semi-final and then get into the finals. They just have to put on their A game.
So for you, the Golden Eaglet will go past the baby elephants?
On paper, I said on paper,
So
but
in reality, what should we expect?
we just have to put in the work. It's
All
football.
right,
We have to put in the work.
Put it in the work and be positive. All right, let's leave Ghana and come back to Nigeria, but let's come down to Abuja Sport. Bishop, you want to say something?
Yeah, quickly. We don't know the pairing for the semi-finals. It's going to be Ghana versus Burkina Faso. Ghana, Burkina Faso, and of course
Nigeria
will be taking on
Cote d'Ivoire.
So, and just off the group, I think that's surprising, but the important thing is that they are true to the nation. I don't want to lose this competition. I wish them the best of luck against Cote d'Ivoire.
All right, but this man is done receiving best of luck. What he needs is the best of cash, as he wants to still stick to being the oldest boxer ever to defend his boxing championship. This news have been on and on and on for years, but it seems that Basha Ali, a former world heavyweight champion, is not resting on his horse. He still wants to break that record and get his name on the Guinness World Record. The current world boxing champion Basha Ali has called on Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to give total support to his plan to to stage the Guinness World Record as the oldest boxer to engage in professional bout, seeking federal government's approval to host the fight in the country. Bashiru Ali assured the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria benefiting billions of dollars if the world record fight should be held in Nigeria. Now, this is the twist. He said that he turned down the opportunity to take the fight to Saudi Arabia or Germany, who are ready to pay 75 million euros. But he wants to stage the fight in Nigeria because of the love he have for Nigeria as a country. Sport Bishop, should he rest on this? Already, because it's been the first time he made this quest known was way back in 2005. That is a long time ago, about 19 years ago.
During Obasanjo's time.
I can tell you for a fact, since 2005, 19 years ago, and ever since then, he has not relented on wanting to be the oldest boxer. As Sport Bishop, should we gather money for him, or he should just let it rest already?
I think I'm a big fan of dreaming. And I think he has every right to dream. He is an elite boxer. He's boxed before. So
no doubt.
It's not like he's trying to get into a different terrain. It's what he's used to. He's not saying he wants to go and win a title. All he's telling you that he wants to become the oldest boxer ever to fight in the ring. We can make it possible for him. This is Nigeria supporting our own. If it was someone from maybe somewhere else in South Africa, they would have supported him.
Long time ago.
Exactly. But someone in you could hear that Saudi Arabia was even hoping to get in that money so they could get, because the Kanye will be the oldest boxer ever, and they drag the fans, the supporters to Saudi Arabia, and that's how they improve sports in Saudi Arabia. You seem to say why are the whole world going to Saudi Arabia? Boxing, tennis, because they understand the
wrestling, Formula One.
Exactly, it's about numbers. And this man has been crying for so long a time that he wants to have a fight, become the oldest boxer to win a heavyweight title. Okay, he may not win it again, but at least give him a fight. Let him have the best. Come attack him here in Abuja, or maybe somewhere in Nigeria, and we give him the support. I think we should give him the support. I think he deserves the support. He's been a servant of he's carried the flag of Nigeria for so long a time, and we can't give back to him. This was made during a world press conference he did yesterday, and he kept on repeating the same thing. If it was for the money, I would have taken that money, had a fight, and rested my case. But he says he wants to have it in Nigeria.
Let us carry the name of Nigeria.
That is the whole issue about this whole thing. And that is why he's trying to get to the Ministry of Sport, get to the President. Please just make this happen. It's been my dream for over 19 years, and this man is holding forth to that dream. I think he sleeps at night and sees a bout. And he wants it to be done and dusted with.
Mr. J, do you want to agree with Sport Bishop?
We can,
because we have other people and other sports to attend to.
Yeah, this is one important one, because for the fact that he wants to be in a Guinness World Record book. But then when you look at this, weigh it in the balance, the financial implication and then the name and the record. What is the record going to earn Nigeria?
Just the name.
Just the name. Then he himself, we all know that
what if he wins the belt?
It's not trying to. If he wins the belt, it
the
comes to Nigeria. All the money goes to him.
Nigeria.
The money goes to him.
Supported our own.
Yeah, I am on that part. As a sports fan, I support him. But if the government should look at this thing, if what is going into making this thing happen, I would advise Bashali. Yes, we have all seen his love for this country. We have all seen how he's been carrying on this dream since 2005 till now. If the government fails to support him, we, the entire Nigerians, will know that he has the Nigerians' heart. He should go elsewhere and get this money and get his dream.
Absolutely. Get your dream intact. And of course, we call on good, loving Nigerians as well as politicians and the president at large. Let's use our platform to solicit for the oldest boxing champion, Bashiru Ali, that his dreams will definitely be met, right?
Absolutely.
It can be met. The issue here is being met in Nigeria. Yeah, because other nations are there, like
Germany and Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia,
they are ready to
give him to host him. Yeah, so his dream can be met, but wanting it to be met on Nigerian soil is the question. But you and I,
It is doable.
it's doable.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. That's all we can say.
All right, let's make it happen. And I can tell you for a fact that one team's dreamed of making it happen by defending the Federation Cup has hit the Waterloo. Talking about Bendel Insurance of Edo State. Yesterday they fell 2-0 to the goal of Promise Damala and Owolabi Aremu in the 68th minute and in the 94th minute respectively, and that ended their hopes of retaining the crown that they won last year. Bendel Insurance fell to Wiki Torres by 2 goals to 0. Sport Bishop and Mr. J. It seems that the Federation Cup is now taking a shape where the big guns have been knocked out.
Absolutely. You want to say something, MJ?
No, go on.
I think the fact that we are having things like this go on tells a lot of story. Last time it was Kano Pillars who dumped out Enugu Rangers in the Buhari Township Stadium. And there's one thing I love about the Presidential Federation Cup. That's a tongue twister if you ask me. Is the fact that it's a cup competition.
Yeah.
And there's some teams that are very good cup playing teams. But they prefer to play cups than tournament because for tournament it's more like a marathon. But for cups it's just a win at that point.
Win and progress.
Exactly. There's no second chances. Bed Insurance beating, I think it's a blow for Bed Insurance because I think they would have hoped to use that as a medium to to sneak into Europe,
into Africa,
into the continent. Forgive me, I'm in Nigeria, but unfortunately they couldn't. And it's so sad that it's too far. Round of 32 to lose in that round. I think that's the most painful part. I think to be sincere, this has been a bad season for Bed Insurance under Mondo Digi. I think last season it took them to a certain level. And maybe because of the fact he did so well in his first season back into the league, he's now
unbeaten in the regular season.
He's now a victim of his own
success.
Absolutely, because no matter what he does right now, if he does not hit the heights that he did last season, it will be painful. So for me, it is what it is. But that's where we found ourselves at the point in time, and so sad that they are being dumped out of the competition as we speak.
And so interesting. Yeah, I'm happy with it, with that twist. Not that I'm happy that a certain club lost, but this is what gives this sport the beauty it's been carrying. That's why this sport, you can never predict it. It's not the results are not written on paper. It's unlike election result. You understand? It is the performance you put in on the day.
Absolutely.
You can be a very good side, but if on the day you had a bad day, that is it. No one is written off in this competition.
Absolutely, no one is written off according to MJ. Quickly, other results of the games in the round of 32. Caesar FC won Rocket losing to Aimba by 2 goals to 0. We told you that Bendel Insurance were defeated by Wiki Torres. Rivers United we are 1-0 better against Niger Tornadoes. Lobby Stars fell to Shooting Stars by 2 goals to 0. Abia Warriors reigned supreme over Sporting Lagos with just a long goal. Meanwhile, the game between Sunshine Stars and Plateau United ended in a 1-0 draw, but Sunshine Stars progressed on penalty after a 3-2 win. Doma United couldn't get that all-important goal as they fell 1-0 to Kano Pillars. The game between EFCC FC and Idel FC ended goalless in regular time, and guess what? Abuja-based EFCC FC won 5-4 on penalties. Sport Bishop definitely will be a happy man. And Wari Wolves lost 1-0 to Kwara United. Sokoto United we are 1-0 better against Nasarawa United. No upset for me. All these results went like they should go.
Anyway, before we jump out of the Federations Cup as I speak, there's a shocker happening right now here in Abuja. Akwa United are trailing by a goal to guess who's beating them? Zamfara Feeders. It's early in the game. The first 30 minutes just gone. But we would have thought Akwa United would be trailing to Zamfara Feeders at this point.
That is why I love this sport.
When Bendel Insurance lost yesterday.
Lost to Wiki Torres.
It happened.
So, what
it's a kind of a household name. But Zamfara Feeders, they would never come up because there's only Zamfara.
All right, let's touch down the sport of athletics as we hear that that it is that now been raised. Talking about the prize money for the 10th Okpekpe International 10 kilometers race that will be going down this Saturday in the city of Benin. Not really the city of Benin, because we hear that the venue has now been shifted from Benin to Auchi in Edo State. We hear now that the prize money has been raised to 100 million naira, taking cue over the World Table Tennis Federation, because we heard also that the prize money was raised to $80 million.
$80,000.
80,000. Oh wow.
Million. Yeah. He needs a big.
It seems I love million.
A big one. Yeah.
The top 5 finishers in each gender category for the international elite field, as well as for the Nigerian elite runners, will battle for the prize money. Winners in each gender category will go home with $15,000, while the second and third finishers will be rewarded with $8,000 and $5,000 respectively. But the fourth and fifth will go home with $3,000 and $2,000 respectively. So, guys, in just a minute, it seems to be a rain of money for the Okpekpe race.
Absolutely. If you argue with me, I think we talked about tennis WTT contender yesterday in Lagos, $80,000, and now we're here in the last sprint. See, sport is money, and until we begin to get away from the fact where we begin to see sport as a political tool and begin to see it as business, see the money being thrown around, you would argue, and this is not event not held in Nigeria, so where that tells you sponsors are interested, they want to be associated with sport. I think this is the 8th edition, and
10th edition,
I beg your pardon, and then you have WTT coming to Nigeria for the first time. So we see at some point, hopefully we could host the Africa beach soccer AFCON here in Nigeria. So it tells us that we are improving when it comes to sport, and the private sector are now playing a major role to improve our sport, and we must accept it. I hope it will trickle down to our football, but it looks like it's getting too hard to break away from that, you know.
But don't worry, we'll definitely get there one day. Yeah, okay. And for the fact that, you know, it's not just sports. That is it inflation or getting wealthy? Yeah, because the more money you have, the more expenses, and you know, I'm happy that much more money is coming into sports, and because we need that money to stay afloat.
Absolutely. Since its inception, it was only in 2020 that the race didn't hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Ever since, it has been consistently held in Nigeria. All right, let's before we move out of the shores of Nigeria, let's let you know that we hear that come next year that the AFCON for 2025 might just be moved to December, January in 2025 and 2026 respectively, if that news is anything to go by. Because we hear that the biennial competition, that is the FIFA World Club, is the reason why there might be a shift in the usual January-February timeline of every 2 years, the odd years that it was held. But the decision did not go down well with FIFA, as it will clash with the maiden edition of the 32 Team Club World Cup that will commence in 2025. Sport Bishop, you know, we did discuss this off the mic. Then we hear that it might just be held in December, January of 2025 and 2026. It's
so sad that we can't have it in January. It's so sad we can't have it in July. I think FIFA has succeeded in crumbling our calendar. We can't even say this is when the AFCON will take place. Today is January, next tomorrow is July, and now we're heading December.
No. It's a no for me.
I think we need to stamp our ground. I've been one of who believes we need to let people understand that we have our own say when it comes to our sport. We have our weather, we have our so many things that an environment that enable us decide to pick our date. If the Asian League, I've told you, Asian, they for whatever reason have never changed to keep holding their events every January. That's when they host their Asian Cup, and nobody is going down under the knife and asking what's going on. Why can't we not stamp our ground and say no, like we did before, that we want to have our event on this date and never belch. Now we don't even know. When an AFCON finish, we don't even know the next date yet.
I think the attention is shifting much to Nigeria, because if you look at the array of African stars that are parading their trade for
in Europe,
you know, African has become a very big influence in European football, or in European club football, and holding Club World Cup. We are bigger than. Let me just say we are bigger than Asian. But one important thing we have to take is to stand on our ground.
Absolutely.
These are our lads. You need them. Because you need them, you shouldn't come and just obstruct our own calendar.
Definitely, yeah. Stay tuned as we go on our first official commercial break. When we return, one man will be joining us on the show. Who is he? Stay tuned to find out. We will definitely not let the cat out of the bag. And of course, when we return, we will be telling you more on our Dewona Lookman, the man of the day.
Okay, guys, if you're just joining us, this is Stu Sport Lounge on Voice of the People, 96.1 FM Abuja. And I'm Stu the Bishop, the finest boy talking sport is here. And of course, Mr. J, I call him MJ, also seated in the building. Like Fine Boy did say before the break, we're having a special guest on the show. He's making a return. I wouldn't say he's making his debut. Come on, he's been here before. He had a great game. Hopefully the coach has let to bring him up again. And he's here to talk about everything beach soccer. I'm talking about the coordinator of the National Beach Soccer League, and of course, the president of Africa Beach Soccer League, no other than Mahmoud Hadija. Sir, welcome to the show. Welcome to Sport Lounge. It's always nice to have you again on the show.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure to make my return.
Okay, MJ, I hope you are getting ready for the second part of the show.
Yeah. We are still together.
The Nigerian Beach Soccer League just ended, Mr. Mahmoud, and indeed it was a colorful event. We spoke extensively the last time you were here, and indeed the competition delivered. So overall, tell us the league as well as the competition, the teams as well as the organizers, did they meet your personal expectation?
Well, certainly the Voice of the People 96.9 met my expectation and our expectation, because we're about renaming this radio station Voice of Beach Soccer.
Absolutely. Wow. It deserves a round of applause. Wow.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice one.
While in Newi, Anambra State, we were all following what was going on this radio station, and we're having up-to-date, reports and a lot of information coming for you guys. So I think you did a wonderful job. I must use this opportunity to commend you and also the radio station for all the good work. But talking about beach soccer now, and also the Nigeria Beach Soccer League, which held its second round in Newi for almost about a week. We were there and we had a great time, I must say. One of the best I've had here in Nigeria. The Beach Soccer Association there, led by Professor Victor Maduboko, who flew in all the way from the US, for these games, and I think they've done really well, partnering with the Nigeria Beach Soccer League and also the citizens there of Newi, the local people, were really, really amazing. They were coming out for the morning, evening games. We were there throughout, the night celebrating. So it was a celebration for beach soccer, I must say. I think it's good promotion for the game.
Okay, for the first time, you did say the Beach Soccer League goes to the east, southeast part of Nigeria. Like you said, the people, it was more like a carnival. Were you quite surprised with the kind of acceptance you got from the people of Newi? I'm not trying to brag, I'm from Newi as well.
Well,
But you just mentioned it.
you see, I wouldn't want to say surprise, because I know what the beach soccer can take to the people, and once the people accept and embrace it, then you can have a party and also like a carnival. But most importantly, I think before we started, we paid a visit to the Igwe of Newi, His Royal Majesty, who welcomed us in his palace, and I was really, really amazed, what we saw there. We also had a time at the museum, which was very close to the palace. So it was very, very interesting. We could basically see everything Nigeria, the artwork, the sculptures, So it was quite interesting. It was a good start. So we got the blessings, from there.
Very nice one.
For Newi, I think I keep saying, wherever we go to a new center or a new place and introduce the beach soccer, we see a lot of excitement, because people, usually see it on TV or they hear about the beach soccer, but when it's brought to them and they see how the game is played, the action, the music, the razzmatazz that goes on with the beach soccer, it was lovely. And for us, and also most importantly for the players, they had a great time. The Igbo music, I must say, was something else.
Was something else. Just in case you are listening and want to get in touch with Mr. Mahmoud Adeja live on the show, you can start sending in your question on WhatsApp as well as on YouTube. The number is simple: 070-0010-961-961, 070-0010-961-961. all those mind-boggling questions that you have wanted to ask all this while. This is the time for you to start asking them. Mr. J, it seems you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I'm quite happy that it was a very successful event, and I'm also tempted not to ask this question again because it was fine. The players and the participants, they had a very good fun. But besides that, what does this event now hold for the future of beach soccer in Nigeria?
Absolutely.
Besides the participants enjoying, having good time, what does it hold for Nigeria in terms of
the growth of beach soccer in
yeah,
Nigeria?
Moving forward.
Moving forward.
Well, overall, I would say what we found out in Newi is the unity. It's the unity that the game brings. You know, we found out that people came from all across the country, from the north to the south, and we're all there together as one family. You know, and for the game, like I said, it's good promotion. Nigeria was at the forefront of beach soccer development.
Exactly. That is
when it came to Africa, you know, before we went to sleep, unfortunately. But now, with the beach soccer league, the game is being revived. You know, being in the southeast for the very first time, having teams like Jigawa, you know, joining, you know, where, you know, places where we don't even have the beach, you know, but we can, you know, get the sand,
teams,
you know, and construct pitches, you know, for beach soccer. I think is wonderful. Not to also forget the students, because it was in a school premises, you know, and the students were really, really having fun, you know. I took out time to go and play penalty with one of the journalists.
Wow.
And
Nice one.
they thought I was just like the normal administrator that they usually see or read about. And when I started popping up the goals, they were like, this one a former player. You know, so I think the future of the game is very, very bright.
Okay.
I must say, in the country where we keep receiving calls, you know, from several other places that, look, we see what you guys are doing. Talking about Anambra State as well. The leader, who is the chairman of Anambra Beach Soccer Association, who I made mention about earlier on, that came from the US, got to find out about the Beach Soccer League on the internet, you know, and he reached out to us to say that, look, I like what you guys are doing, we want to be involved. That is how it started. You know, so if someone can be out there, you know, in another continent, far away from our country, why not every other place here? And we're ready to support, we're ready to partner with everyone that is willing to embrace this game. So I think the future is very, very bright, I must say. We keep seeing amazing things, you know, coming up. And not to talk about also, not to forget about the talent that we're seeing, you know, in places that you can never imagine talents will come out from. And that is where you can bring them and nurture them, you know, for international and you know, that is where everyone starts from.
Okay, now let's look at quickly, because of time. We know you're just coming from a trip from Kaduna. We know the 4 teams that will make it. 2 of the former champions, Anambra Beach Soccer Warriors, and of course, not forgetting the final team, which is Kebbi United Beach Soccer Club. We now know the 4 teams that will make it. We all knew these were the teams we had our eyes on.
Don't be in a rush. Anambra are not former champions.
No, I thought about Kebbi and Kada.
Oh, okay.
We have 2 former champions.
I thought I heard Anambra.
Kebbi United. Come on. I'm not getting ahead of myself. So the question is this.
But they did beat the number 1
team.
team.
Yes, they did. They did beat the best team in Africa.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And lost to Jigawa.
Oh, wow. I love that part that he just had to be mentioned.
Anyway, let's go to Kaduna. You were there. You've inspected the stadium. The rush for the Spark is already up and running. We saw you were there looking at the pitch, the quality. What are we going to be expecting from that event coming up very soon? And how prepared is Kaduna ready to host the best teams in Nigeria? And secondly, you did put out a communique where you spoke to a lot of journalists a few days ago about the fact that you want the return of the Super Sand Eagles. What does that entail, and how can we get that possible? Get that back. Maybe we're one of the better teams in Africa before there was a downtrodden in our sound football.
Okay, let me talk about the Sand Eagles first.
Okay.
We were all aware about what happened. Nigeria, like I said, were at the forefront from when it came back in 2005.
Exactly.
And we were qualifying for tournaments in Africa. It was very easy for us, but we didn't really do what was supposed to be done. Having a structure, having a league, having grassroots programs, that we can get players. We were usually going to the amateurs and the professional football league to pick players, and they go, and as usual, the usual Nigerian player, he will do his best and will qualify for the World Cup. But eventually we got caught up. A lot of countries were doing a lot of investment and a lot of development over the years. And even at the international, at the African level, we're still doing well. But at the international level, there was a lot of progress, in terms of the development, particularly in Europe, because they usually have almost every year, they have a lot of competitions, and the game was really, really advancing technically, So we got caught up. And, I think in the last World Cup in 2019 in Paraguay, Nigeria was paired against the likes of Brazil, against Portugal. These are heavyweights in football and in beach soccer as well. Brazil, I think they're about 6-time champions of the world, and Portugal, I think 2 times. And, obviously, what do you expect? We got hammered. And it was time now for the Nigerian Football Federation, to look at holistically what could be done. And it was agreed in the AGM they held just a couple of weeks after the World Cup to say that, look, let's stop the team from participating. Let's go back and set up a league, and we can resume later on. And this league has been going on now for 4 years. Yeah. We've missed out in about 2 AFCONs. And then we said, look, now I think is the time. Maybe in the past we were facing challenges, logistics challenges and all that, but now we have a new administration in place, and this administration, even before they came in, promised that, look, we're going to look into this beach soccer and see how we can work together with you guys that are doing wonderfully well, and resume the national team. These are the words of the NFF president, and now we have the AFCON approaching. We have the World Cup coming to Africa for the very first time. Yeah. How can you imagine a World Cup in Africa without Nigeria? With all these things that we're doing. We have, I think I would say, the fastest growing league, not just in Africa, in the world. I know what I'm saying. So I think it's about time. The NFF, and I think they're willing to do that, look, considering their body language and also what they've been saying, is about time. But time is of essence, and we're running late. CAF has already opened registration and is going to be closing by the end of this month. And we've not really heard much regarding Nigeria's participation. And that is why we're calling on the NFF to look inwards and see how we can reward these players and also get back to participation at that level. So basically that is what we're calling. It's not really a difficult thing to do. Beach soccer is a very easy, and in terms of the cost is very, very costs is not that costly, in terms of managing the game. I've been involved for a very long time, so I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. The National Beach Soccer League Coordinator, for your insight. Let's quickly move to games that went down yesterday in the Europa League.
All right, yesterday showed that indeed Nigerians can deliver their polling unit anywhere they are in the world. I'm so excited. Despite a time of gone, we will definitely let you know how it went down.
Symphony out of the silence.
Ademola Lookman bagged a hat-trick as Atalanta defeated Bayer Leverkusen by 3-0 in the UEFA Europa League. Lookman made history as the first African player to score 3 goals in the final of a major UEFA competition, and it was Bayer Leverkusen's first defeat in 52 games across all competition this season, and also the first time Atalanta will be winning a European title, and they also become the first Italian side to win the Europa. Guys, what's stopping this young man from becoming the African Footballer of the Year 2024?
This is the first title in 61 years. Under Gasparini, they've been in 3 finals in the Coppa Italia 2019, 2021, and this year 2024. He has lost all twice to Juventus. So this is first ever. You know, everybody says he's a great manager, but he has not won anything. I think he ended that debate yesterday in Atlanta Bergamo without victory, and he calmed the nerves of so many believers that he's a good coach. And I'm happy for the 6-year-old turning 17. We see him jumping like a toddler. We see him jumping like a kid. Also having a fantastic time. So it's something which we can look out for. It's something that we can also be happy for. But Ademola Lookman, I think the record speaks for itself. The first African to score a brace in the Europa League final. The first African to score a hat-trick in the Europa League final. The first player to score a hat-trick in the Europa League final. 5 goals contribution from 7 games at the African Cup of Nations. African Cup of Nations team of the tournament. Runner-up to African Cup of Nations. Runner-up at the Coppa Italia. 21 goal contribution in all competition. That is 5 goals in the Europa League, 9 in the league, and of course 6 assists. Ademola Lookman could be a contender. Could be a contender for the African Footballer of the Year.
And I ask, who wants to contend with Ademola Lookman with this impressive, impeccable performance, Mr. J?
There's always a first time, and
before yesterday, it wasn't a contender.
It was exactly. So I am happy that he has come into the news and coming big, making such a very big record for his club, and then making us Nigerians very proud that yes, we are doing our own here.
Absolutely, and definitely, I guess in the studio want to delve into this one away from the beach now. Let's talk about football proper on the pitch.
Well, I also play football. So well, congratulations to Ademola Lookman. I think he has done well for himself and for his team. But to be a contender for African footballer, he needs to qualify us to the World Cup.
Oh,
Absolutely.
wow.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Somebody's now dancing to my team. Because when I said something like that, no, it's just gonna be. It's not gonna be.
He is not the only player to qualify us. There are about 23 players in that squad. So if we do not qualify, which I believe we will qualify, you don't have to hold it on Ademola Lookman, and that will not stop him from winning this
But I think there are some contenders who could be, you know what I know about CAF is that even your previous year plays a role for you.
True.
A certain year where Yaya Toure didn't do so well, but was crowned the African Footballer of the Year.
Because of
what he did the season before.
The current,
Victor Sime, a bad season he's got, you think he has, but this guy's hit almost 20 goals plus this season. And then you can go forward to a certain Sebastian Haller, but what he did at the African Cup of Nations, you may say he didn't play much, but his goal per game ratio is something that will be calculated. And if he wins the Champions League, it will be another year of winning the AFCON. So
there are a lot of contenders.
But I think Kudos have to go to Atlanta. For Leverkusen, 51 game unbeaten. This is the worst way to lose an unbeaten run. I'm going to be sincere with you.
And all of a sudden,
it looked like
they looked forgotten already.
It's not compete.
All the pride, all the chant, all the everything, winning, as in losing their 52nd game at the final, as in it just everyone seems to have forgotten about it.
This is the worst way to lose a game.
This
is the most dominant Europa League final I've watched in a very
absolutely.
Exactly.
I believe that whatever Xavi Alonso told his men yesterday, they didn't listen to him. Only a certain Jeremy Frimpong was the light in the attack of Bayern Leverkusen. All right, away from that, let's touch down the camp of Barcelona as we hear that Hansi Flick is nearing to be announced as the coach of Barcelona. We also hear that Belgian Vincent Kompany might be the next man to be announced as the head coach of Bayern Munich. But for Chelsea, it seems that coaches are running away from them.
I will ask you a question. I don't know.
Before we go back, come to you. The coaching circle, West Ham as well have announced a new coach in July. To Peggy is officially the new coach of West Ham United. He would replace David Moyes, and we hear he has signed a new 2-year deal. So it seems like the merry-go-round for coaches.
Merry-go-round for coaches, but will you accept the Chelsea Nigeria job?
All right, we hear that Manchester United are getting set for their FA Cup finals this weekend. As we hear that players are resuming, the likes of Mason Mount have also been picturing training with the team.
All the players at Man United are now recovering when the season is over. There's a Luke Shaw back, Anthony Martial is back. We hear Settle Rashford is back. And I ask myself, where were they when Man United were in the doldrums?
Big question.
Why wait now? Because anyway, if they get to win the FA Cup,
They still have a
yes.
The Man U season is not over yet. Their season. They can salvage their season by winning the FA Cup, because it will be a very huge season for them, because everyone has looked down on that Eric Ten Hag could not deliver a Manchester.
Ten Hag is hanging.
But if eventually that is done, finishing in the 8th position will just be.
But yeah, it could also be sent packing like Manchester Pochettino. He could still win the FA Cup, qualify for Europa League.
No. I don't know. I don't see Manchester United sending.
The news is all over Manchester.
Absolutely.
That Eric Ten Hag have been shown the exit door, whether he wins the FA Cup or not. Recall that Louis van Gaal won the FA Cup for Manchester United, and early hours of the following day he was sent packing.
Pochettino got Europa League football for Chelsea, and he walked away on mutual custody. You want to say something, sir?
Yeah, I think for Man U, just like you said, while other teams are celebrating winning laurels, they should be celebrating their players coming back.
What a way to throw a jive to Manchester United as wow. It seems that the injury worries for the team is finally put to bed at the end of the season. Finally on the shore, before we pack our bag and baggages to a step out of the building, we hear that Western midfielder Lucas Paqueta has been charged by the Football Association for allegedly betting, getting booked deliberately for the improper purpose of affecting the betting market. The charges relate to the Premier League game against Leicester City on 12th November in 2022, plus the 2023 fixtures against Aston Villa on the 12th of March, Leeds United on the 21st of May, and Bournemouth on the 12th of August, and a certain Manchester City with 115 charge. They are walking around free.
Anyway, like I said, you're not proved guilty until you are called guilty. So it's our charges until they have been indicted. Other clubs have been indicted, and Man City have found a way to navigate all these issues. But Pakata, what is it with players and betting? You know,
it's very, very
look
wrong.
at Tonali. He was suspended in Italy. He came to England. He's got another suspension.
That means it is not by mistake. It's not a fluke.
It's not by chance.
They are addicted to it.
But it is what a wonderful player. We hear he's going to be heading to Manchester City. I just hope this wouldn't play a major role.
This kind of
exactly, this will not spoil the move.
All right, apologies. This is where we'll drop anchor on the show. Our time is far gone. If you love what we did, come on, join us at same time, same station tomorrow at exactly 4 p.m. We will be back to talk more sports. But bright and early tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m., the show Sport Beats makes a return. Sport Bishop, amazing time talking with you.
Always a pleasure to be here. Okay, always a good. Come on, it's always good.
It's our show.
This is what I do. I preach all day long. And sport. Thank you very much, MJ, for being part of the show.
Thank you very much.
And of course, a great pleasure having you, sir, Mr. Mahmoud Adija, the coordinator of the NBSL.
Always a pleasure.
Okay, like we always used to say,
we are done and we're gone. God bless, no stress.
Stick out with me from 5 to 8 p.m. It's time for the evening rush.
And times that wants to take us higher and higher, we'll go.